Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having a water, and tonight I'll be reviewing The Trials of Elysian by Reese, Sherron. This is a book I received as an ARC, but of course I'm giving my honest opinion. These are the tropes, and these are the content warnings. My rating for this book is 3.75. So what's this book about? So this book is about Faye, who lives in a world that's been decimated by a famine so severe it's taken out most of the population. So the city was created to change the course of history for the humanity that is left. As long as they follow the commandments of the city, they will be able to live a prosperous life. Faye is now leaving her village for the mysterious city that she's heard all about but actually knows very little about. And the reasoning is because she is there to meet her predestined mate, who she'll be able to identify once her symbols and theirs, which are matching, light up on their bodies. But what she doesn't realize is that before that can happen, she needs to go through these deadly trials to prove her worth to the city. For these trials, she will be assigned a mentor who will help her through them, but there are consequences for both of them if either of them fail. So these trials will push her to her limit, but also reveal the wickedness of the city that will have her questioning things. But these questions will draw the eyes of those in charge, who will see her questions as a form of rebellion against the city and all that it stands for. So she will have to decide whether or not to fall in line, complete the trials to prove her worth so that she can have a good life and a soulmate, or will she continue to question things to try and uncover what's really going on in the city. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this a 3.75. I will say reading is subjective and not every book is for every reader, and this was just probably not the book for me, but it may be your next 5-star read, so I strongly encourage you to give this a try if it sounds like something you're interested in. And if you love it, I love that for you. For me, however, I did land on a 3.75, but leading up to that, there were a lot of moments where I almost DNF'd this book. But because I was considered DNFing it, I went to check some other reviews just to see if there was anyone else in the same boat or just what people were saying. And around chapters 15 and 16 is where people said it was going to change, and I can agree that second half of the book is where things changed for the book, where I started to enjoy myself. For the first half of the book, however, I think there were a lot of great ideas. There were a lot of things here that were interesting. I just don't think they were executed well enough because I was left wanting more. I didn't quite understand what was going on, so I was very confused. It kind of felt like it was rushing from one great idea to the next great idea, but no build up to understand really what was going on. It was just full of great ideas, but not great execution, in my opinion. Now, for the second half of this book, I really did enjoy it a lot more, and I think that's because it felt a little bit more developed. I enjoyed the characters and the plot because I understood a lot more of what was going on, and it was more engaging as a result. Earlier in the book, you had two trials that felt a little too short and just were, like I said, rushed through previously, and it felt like the female main character, Faye, was just a bystander to them, but the last trial was really good, and I really enjoyed it. It was engaging, it was more complex, and she was an active member. There was betrayals going on, twists. The whole last section of this book actually had a lot of twists and turns that I really enjoyed, and betrayals that definitely made it a more engaging read. So I'm glad I stuck with the book. It was definitely an interesting book full of great ideas. I just don't think the first half was executed correctly. But as the author picked up speed in the second half of the book, I'm hoping that speed carries into the future books so that other people who maybe are in the same boat as me will enjoy those books. Now, this book is available November 30th, so I hope you give it a chance, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.